Welcome back to another episode of Binance series. This is Sohail, and today's video, cross margin versus isolated margin. We're going to explore the differences between cross margin and isolated margin on Binance, and we're going to discuss advantages and disadvantages of each one and in what situations they can be useful for trading. Without wasting any more time, let's get started. We can buy or sell on margin here, actually on Binance spot market, or here in derivatives markets, for example, Binance futures market. And when you're trading on margin, you need to choose your margin mode, which must be cross margin or isolated margin. In this video, I will explain the details of cross margin and isolated margin in both of spot market, here in margin trading in spot market, and here in futures market. The concept is the same, but the way you use them is a little bit different on these platforms. First, let's begin with futures market and let's go to USD margin futures. Please pay attention that in this video, the focus is specifically on cross margin and isolated margin, and I will not explain about futures market or how we trade on these platforms or what is margin trading and other stuff, because I have complete tutorials on these subjects and I explained every details. I put the links in the description of this video and I recommend you to watch them if you haven't, so you become familiar with trading on Binance and related concepts and subjects. Alright, here we can switch between cross margin and isolated margin. First, let's begin with cross margin. In cross margin mode, we have one margin balance and the entire of that margin balance is shared for all of our open positions. Let me show you this with examples. BTC USDT perpetual contract is selected and let's place a market order with the size 0.002, for example. Here it shows how much it costs to buy 0.002 BTC, which is 6.5 USDT. Pay attention, the leverage is 10 and this is actually the margin, and Binance takes this from us as collateral. But because we are in cross margin mode, the liquidation goes beyond this much, and our available balance plus other open positions with their related profit and loss also act as collateral. Let's click on buy long. Order submitted, and here it is, an open position, a long position on BTC USDT perpetual contract. Now let's place another position, for example ETH perpetual, and let's open a long position on this contract. The cross margin is selected, the leverage is 10, and let's buy for example 0.05 ETH. It costs something like 9 USDT, and let's click on buy long. Order submitted, and here it is, a long position on ETH USDT perpetual contract. Here it shows the margin for our open positions. It was also shown here in the cost when we were opening these positions, if you remember. As I explained, the liquidation goes beyond this much because we are in cross margin mode, and our available wallet balance plus the open positions and their related profit and loss together act as collateral, and this is shown here, and it's called margin balance. And when this margin balance falls below the maintenance margin, all of our open positions will be liquidated. I guess you got the point now. We have one margin balance. You can consider it a large one that is shared across all of our open positions. All these open positions are using one shared margin balance. So in this mode, one position that is in profit can help another position that is near liquidation. In cross margin mode, you actually average the risk on all positions. However, by doing this, you actually risk your entire margin balance. And pay attention that all of your open positions are acting as collateral, and in the case that your margin ratio level reaches to liquidation point, in other words, your margin balance falls below the maintenance margin, all your open positions will be liquidated. Cross margin is more useful in long-term strategies in order to resist and withstand strong market variations. Alright, let me close these open positions and let's go to isolated margin. In this mode, different margins are assigned for different positions, and liquidation is calculated separately for open positions. In other words, liquidation only applies to the position that is considered, and you only lose on that position, and other positions will not be liquidated. This helps you to limit the risk of losing the entire margin balance and liquidation of all your open positions. Instead, you only lose the isolated margin for that particular position, and only that position will be liquidated. Let me show you this with examples. ETH USDT perpetual contract is selected, and let's buy, for example, 0.05 ETH. We click on buy long, order submitted, and here it is. If you pay attention, you can notice a difference here. Here in the margin, we have an editing sign, which is used to add to this margin if you want, or you can also remove margin. If you remember, we are in isolated margin mode, and this amount you see here is assigned for this position. This position will not use our available funds here or other positions as margin balance, and this is all it has as margin. And here it shows its margin balance and other stuff specifically for this position, ETH USDT perpetual contract. Let's open another position, for example, BTC USDT. Here it is, BTC USDT perpetual contract. The margin mode is cross. We change it to isolated. Leverage is 10, and let's buy 0.002 BTC. We click on buy long, order submitted, and here it is. Please pay attention that in cross margin, we had one shared margin balance and the related stuff here for all of our open position, but here in isolated margin mode, we have them separately for each of our open positions. Each of the open positions has its own margin balance, and its liquidation doesn't affect other open positions or our available wallet balance. So by the help of isolated margin mode, we limit the risk of losing the entire margin balance and liquidation of all of our open positions. Isolated margin is more suitable for short-term strategies as we will be less resistant to strong market declines or advances, and we don't intend to withstand strong market variations. Alright, let me close these open positions and let's go to margin trading here in spot market. Here, the way we trade is totally different with futures market. Here we borrow money, and with the borrowed money we trade, and after that we repay our debt. The leverage is also limited. For example, for BTC USDT pair, we have leverage of up to 3 for cross margin and up to 10 for isolated margin. If you're interested to know the differences between margin trading here in spot market and trading in futures market, I have a video on this and I recommend you to watch it later so you better understand the characteristics of these markets. Alright, getting back to cross margin and isolated margin. Everything I just explained about cross margin and isolated margin is also true here, and the concept is the same, but here we have a small difference that I explain it now. First of all, here the cross margin and isolated margin are different wallets and you need to transfer money for them separately. If you remember, in futures market it wasn't like this, and we had a balance and we could use that balance for both of cross and isolated. But here it's not like that, and we need to transfer funds separately for cross and isolated. Let me show you this. Let's transfer funds here in cross margin wallet. We click on transfer button here. I'm going to transfer from spot wallet to cross margin wallet. If I click on this, you can see that cross margin and isolated margin are separate wallets. We continue with cross margin. The coin I want to transfer is USDT, and let's transfer 50 USDT. We click on confirm and transferred successfully. We are in cross margin mode, and this fund, margin or collateral is shared across all the positions that I'm gonna open. I can open a position on BTC USDT, or I can choose another trading pair, for example ETH USDT. Here it is. And as you can see, it's still available for trading, and I can open position on any other trading pair. So here we have one margin balance that is going to be entirely shared across all the positions that we want to open. As I explained, this is good for averaging risk on all positions and preventing a position from liquidation by the help of profit of another position. But our entire margin balance is at risk, and all of our open positions act as collateral. And in the case that our margin risk level reaches to a liquidation point, all of our open positions will be liquidated to cover the debts, interests, and other fees. As I said, cross margin is more useful in long-term strategies in order to resist and withstand strong market variations. Now let's switch to isolated margin and let's see how it looks like. As you can see, we don't have any fund here, and we need to transfer funds here in isolated margin wallet. Please pay attention that ETH USDT is selected. Let's click on transfer here. And if you noticed, we have a small difference here, and that is we can select trading pairs that this option wasn't available in transfer window of the cross margin. Pay attention that we want to transfer funds to isolated margin wallet. So this initial fund or margin or collateral that we are transferring is specifically for the trading pair that we select here. ETH USDT is already selected, and that's what we need, and we want to transfer USDT because I have USDT. Let's transfer 25 USDT, confirm, and transfer successful. And now we have available funds for trading this pair ETH USDT. This fund you see here, which is our margin and we can use it as collateral to borrow, is specifically for this trading pair ETH USDT. And if we go to another pair, for example BTC USDT, as you can see, there is no available fund here for trading, and we need transfers separately for this trading pair. Let's click on transfer from spot wallet to isolated margin wallet. The BTC USDT pair is already selected, and we are transferring funds specifically for this trading pair. The coin I want to transfer is USDT. Let's transfer 25, the maximum amount, confirm, and transfer successful. And now we have available funds for trading this trading pair BTC USDT. If the market goes against us and our margin risk level reaches to the liquidation point, only the position that we have on this trading pair will be liquidated, and it doesn't affect the position of this trading pair ETH USDT or available funds that we have here for ETH USDT. So here, by the help of isolated margin mode, we separately assign margin to different pairs, and by doing this, we limit the risk of losing the entire margin balance and liquidation of all of our open positions. As I said earlier, isolated margin is more suitable for short-term strategies as we will be less resistant to strong market declines or advances, and we don't intend to withstand strong market variations. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask and leave a comment for me. I'll answer your questions as soon as possible. If you found any value in this video, please like it, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell so you get the notifications of my new videos. See you guys in next episode, and good luck with your trading.